throw this graphic up, there's a lot of other teams that are going to be looking to add at the trade deadline as well. Even right now, you got your buyers. There's at least 7 teams that I identified as buyers there. Tigers, of course, very, very good. Would not hate to add pieces there. We know where the Padres are at. They need some help in the lineup. Giants probably need to fill out their roster a little bit. We'll talk Giants in our third and final segment of the show. You know the Mets are in the mix. Phillies are leading in the wild card right now. Yankees need some help as well. And then you got, the sellers. Those are pretty much definitely 1,000% sellers in my opinion. And then your teams that are on the fence that all have some pieces. But those buyers, they're going to want, you don't think the Tigers want to add somebody of the ilk of Aaron Savali or whatever. I think there's more competition than just like, hey, the Dodgers want him.
Listen, there's a ton of teams. Throw that graphic that you so appropriately curated. Throw that back up there. Yes, I think the Tigers would like the ilks of Aaron Savali. You know who else might be? And no, don't throw stuff at the computer, guys. But Sandy Alcantara is getting back to form. Yeah. There's a great article in The Athletic done by both Ken Rosenthal and I believe Eno Sarris talking about it, or maybe it was just Kenny by himself. But the point is, there's a recent article about Sandy Alcantara that an opposing team scout said he's about 3 or 4 outings away from getting back to where he was prior to Tommy John when he absolutely shoved. And I realized that the numbers where he looked really good were against the Rockies and they were against some other garbage team. I can't remember. But the point is, he might be a decent rental too for the second half of the season. Yes, I understand that he's very expensive. Matty Man 5 Dodge is saying that. But he's also, now's a good time to trade him, right? Before he gets that expensive and before the Marlins are going to have to pay him. But there are teams that definitely need starting pitching, and obviously Jackson Jobe is now on the shelf with he has to undergo Tommy John surgery too, so that stinks. He was having a good year, good young player, but I don't know. I load up. I mean, the Dodgers have a way of doing things and working the system legally. But I'm loading up on starting arms right now because I don't know what the heck is happening with Glasnow and Snell and Sasaki and when Shohei is going to be ready and all of the things. Gonsolin, all the stuff. Even
Emmett Sheehan, I do want to temper. I feel like I've, as the kids say here on the internet, I've glazed up the Emmett Sheehan dude a good amount. I don't want people assuming that Emmett Sheehan's going to plug into the starting rotation and be the second coming of Fernando Valenzuela in 1981. No, he's not that guy, but he is somebody who is serviceable. He's got a plus fastball. He's got some good breaking stuff. He can give you some length. Emmett Sheehan could, in theory, be this team's Aaron Savali, just somebody to fill in for now and then eventually move to the bullpen, where I also believe, much like Bobby Miller we're talking about in the first segment of the show, could he could really help this team out in the bullpen. But going back to that graphic again, one of the teams I really like looking at is the Orioles, because their ass, they're so bad. I don't know what happened there.
I mean, and don't forget to throw the Rockies on the sellers, even though I don't know if there's anyone on the Rockies worth buying. But the point is they're obviously selling.
They won't trade with the Dodgers because, Dick Monfort's a moron, but we all know that. But they will not trade with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But Cedric Mullins, center fielder, could be nice in Dodger blue.
Do we need an outfielder, though? Do we need an outfielder? Are you punting on Conforto? Where is Cedric Mullins going to play?
Left field, center field, just as long as Conforto is not in that lineup. But Conforto, to me, is not he's not the championship answer for the Dodgers right now in left field. That's just we're mid-June, just shy of mid-June, and he's still hitting a buck 80 or under.
I think we need arms way more than we need offense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So there's a package deal. Mullins, Zach Eflin over there from Baltimore. Rangers, interesting trade partner as well. They got
get Eovaldi.
Nate Eovaldi, bring him home.
Oh,
what is it? That would be love that. 13
I've always wanted Nathan Eovaldi in a Dodger uniform. Always.
He came up as a Dodger. It was wonderful times.
I wanted him like in his prime as a Dodger.
Yeah, Nate's a dog. Too.
Ella Sheva Jones talking about, and yes, I hear you about the sponsorships, Ella Sheva, about that we do have female Dodgers fans too. I get that. So we need sponsors that are
We'll work on it.
geared towards females. I get that. My girl, I get that. But it's interesting because you're talking about the D-backs. Could you imagine if they continue to, obviously it sucks that Corbin Burns is on the IL. I hate that for the D-backs and I hate that for Burns. But what if they end up being willing to trade Merrill Kelly and
Zach Allen?
I mean, that would be, I don't think they're going to trade him to the Dodgers. But, that's interesting because I thought this Arizona Diamondback team coming into the season spending more on their roster than they ever had, and it just goes to show you can spend as much money as you've ever done in your team's existence, but if people can't stay healthy, doesn't make a bit of difference.
Money does not equal championships. We have always learned that. The 2022 team should be the example of that for when it comes to the Dodgers, how much talent that team had. Money does not buy titles. And
it gets you into the postseason, I will say that. It gives you a great chance to get into the postseason, but it does not guarantee anything beyond a postseason berth. And I'm talking first round.
Yeah,
that's it.
Maybe too, and this is a team that's in the NL West, so it's a problem to try to find a way to even navigate to the postseason as a wild card when there's so many good teams out there.
It's
of course,
the closest division of all of them.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of where things sit with the trade deadline and trade outlook right now. I personally think the team is fine standing pat. I do think that ultimately that's going to be the goal. Andrew Friedman told us that in January. I don't want to have to make any big moves at the trade deadline.
That's why he went out and got all these guys, right? That's to your point. That's a great point that you bring up, Clint, because this is exactly why Andrew Friedman and the front office and ownership agreed, let's go and spend a massive bag on all of these guys so we don't have to worry. We can really fine tune and kind of nitpick what they need at the deadline, but it doesn't need to be anything massive. So if in fact these guys do come back and we really have just little tiny holes in the Swiss cheese, then that's fine. I just don't know where these guys are health-wise. I don't. Dodgers are very close to the vest with that type of stuff.
Well, the good thing is they're coming home, and usually when the Dodgers come back to Dodger Stadium, that brings with it a lot of information, the latest updates from the injured list. We know that in San Diego, Blake Snell threw like a 70% bullpen. He felt good. He's been healthy for 2 weeks, so getting Snell back in that rotation, I think really just resets everything. Because having Snell and Yama at the top, I feel good.
Just mentally getting an arm like that back it would do wonders for this club. Yeah. It would do wonders trying to piece the Robleskis and the Kasperiuses together and all of that. I wouldn't take what's crazy, Mandy Man 5. First of all, that's rude. Second of all, my landscapers just showed up talking about. I want to see if it's Conforto. I don't think it is, but they just showed up. That's not
a day
nice.
off. That's a day off.
Nice.
But we'll revisit all of this probably in 2-3 weeks, definitely after the Padres series, where the Dodgers stand, where the rest of the league stands. But we are
the Giants series and then the Padres
series?
After
the Padres. I want to see the next 7 games and see how everything shakes out because we got 3 against the Giants and then 4 more against the Padres, and that's where there's going to be a lot of moving. There could be a lot of moving in the NL West, or we just do this thing where we're playing musical chairs, but the Dodgers keep staying on top. Knock on desk. That is the hope for everybody.